Hi everybody, Jane here, and today I wanted to talk to you about writing in second person. Of all the perspectives, the point of views that you can write in, second person is one of the ones we use the least. Second person, if you're not aware, is a story where the reader is the character. So it would be like the choose your own adventure stories, where you go into a castle, you see a troll. What do you do? Now, for choose your own adventure story, second person is a very appropriate choice. It is also something that I've seen used in text-based, like computer games. It's also used sometimes in non-fiction when you're giving directions to a person. I've seen it used occasionally in short fiction. I have not seen it used in a novel-length work. So what are the advantages of it and what are the disadvantages? The main advantage of it, I would say, is that your reader is the character, and that can be very immersive, assuming the story works. I would say this is a little bit better for kids' books, maybe young, or maybe like teen, but it's not something I think that most adults pull off well. Most adult readers aren't going to feel as immersed in that kind of story, in my opinion. Just my opinion on that. But if you have a young reader, or if you have a story that it works well in, it can be very immersive to have that you, the reader, are my character, and I'm going to make you go do these things and pull the strings on the puppet. Okay, so that's the main upside. What are the downsides? And unfortunately, there's a lot more downsides generally than upsides. Now again, it does depend what kind of book you're trying to write. So some of the downsides. Number one, people are very different. And so you really have to limit a second person point of view story, because you can't really say, you think this, because that may not be what they would think at all. You don't know their experiences. You don't want to put in a romantic subplot because you don't know if your reader's a boy, if they're a girl, if they're attracted to boys, if they're attracted to girls. You just don't know. You don't know about their ethnicity. You don't know about their background. There's a lot you don't know about the person reading your book. And if you write it where it's not broad enough, it will alienate the people who are reading it, in my opinion. So that's a real big problem. You don't know the reader as a person, and it can really ruin the immersion when they pick up the book and are reading it and you're like, you wonder this, and you go, no, I wouldn't. Or, you do this, and the reader's sitting there going, but I would never do that. That sounds like a bad idea. So, again, not something that's generally used, but it can be used. I wouldn't use it in a long fiction, but if you wanted to do a short story with it, if you did it in a way that most of the things happening in the description is not of the emotional responses, but of just, you see this, you do this. You could even possibly have some kind of story where, like, the beginning, a hypnotist is in control of your character. So it could conceivably be like, they're doing something, but they're not intending to do it. Or, a magician has control over you, or you're a zombie. Different things where they would lose their capability of making rational choices. I think you almost have to do something like that to make a story in second person work, because the person is giving up their agency to the story. You can't, unless you're doing a choose your own adventure, you can't have well, you're at a fork in the road. You decide to take the path less traveled, and I as a reader might sit there and go, but that's not what I would do. I would choose the safe one that looks clearly like it's going to a village instead of into the deep dark woods. So that's what you need to know about second person. I'm not going to make this a super long video because, again, second person isn't something we use very often. If you want to check out second person, I would check out the Choose Your Own Adventure books. They're the best example of it I've seen. So I'm Jane, and if you enjoyed this video, hit like please. Leave a comment if you've seen second person done anywhere really well, and subscribe to my channel for more info. Thanks, bye.